So number one is a Nearpod from Monday. That was just about you. Most of you have turned that in, but I do have a couple people that have not. Okay. So that's just some background information for me. Plus I gave you a few points for that. Number two is your vocab list. Okay. Make sure you have your vocab list done because we're going to use it over and over and over again. So you might as well get your points for that. Number three, yesterday at the end of class, there was an exit ticket on direct object pronouns, right? Those are those little words, lo and la, los and las. And I need you to make sure that you have indeed done that. I tried to message you today, actually. I think if I didn't get yours, I think I sent you a little message saying that you still needed to do that. So double check.
Don't even.
Those are the three things that should be done. Okay. I will also be messaging.
They're the Nike Air Vapor Max Flyknit 3s.
She's trying to get on, but she's not there yet. Anyways, make sure those three things are taken care of. Let me just remind you where to look. If you are missing something, you just go back under assignments. Under each day, you'll see the assignments, right? So if you go back to Monday, there's a link to the Nearpod. If you go back to Tuesday, there's a link for the vocab. And if you go back to Wednesday, there's a link for the direct object pronoun practice. So at this point, there's only 3 days there. So just go click on each one and make sure you've done each of those three things. Oh, I was going to say, I will do drop a parent square message to your parents today or tomorrow and just say, we started off, check grades, make sure your kids are starting off strong, ... So make sure you got those things in. Okay. Generally, I don't take a lot of crazy late work. Last semester was like, I was super generous and I took things forever basically. But now that we kind of know what we're doing, it's due when it's due for full credit. I will give you a little partial credit if you turn it in, the week after it's due. And then after that, I'm cutting you off. I'm not going to take things all semester like I felt like I did last semester. Okay. So get your stuff done. All right. So your job right now, I don't know how long you've been sitting there. So I want you to levantanse, get up and find the oldest thing you can. You got 1 minute. Go look around your room or your house. Bring back something old. Ready, go. Old. And the first one, I want to go over some commands. All right. So I assume this might be new for many of you. So here's where I need like 10 minutes of your focus. And then I promise I'll try to not overwhelm you. And then I'll give you something to work on and you can go work on it. All right. So we're going to talk about commands. All right. This is probably a new grammar topic for most of you. So get on your focus. My kids have this little song like focus, focus. Did you ever do that one? Yes. I don't know. They sing it to me sometimes. All right. So commands. This is where you are telling someone what to do. All right. It's not rude. It's like go do your homework, get out your book, set the table, take the trash out. Those are commands. So that's what we're going to look at. So far, we've done present tense verbs. We've done past tense verbs. This is a different way to do verbs. All right. So we're telling somebody what to do. Now, we have positive commands and we have negative. We are only doing positive. Okay. Positive means like do your homework, eat your vegetables, go to bed. Okay. A negative command would be like, don't eat junk food. Don't cross the street without looking. Don't make a mess. So I'm not doing the don't ones. I'm only telling you what to do. See, these are positive commands. And the last thing is the name of them are positive to commands. So can somebody remind me to as in TU, like we have the yo form and the to form and the L form. What does to mean? What's the to form? Can somebody remind us what that means?
To is you, like another person talking about them and not yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So to is talking to another person, which would make sense because you're giving them a command. It's also informal. So you're talking to a friend or family member. All right. So these kind of commands that I'm about to teach you, you would use to tell your friend, hey, go get the pizza. Or you tell your mom, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something you tell your mom. You don't tell your mom what to do, but maybe you can tell your mom, I got it. Go for a walk. I'll watch my sister. Okay. So you're telling someone in your family what to do. You're telling your friend what to do. You would not use these with me because I'm your teacher, I'm an adult. So you would use a more formal, what's called usted command with me. So these are for your friends and your family. All right, so let me show you the notes. I need you to think about where you want to put these. Think about where you put your ones on direct objects the other day with the lo and the la. So either these are going to go in a Google folder, or you're going to print them if you want to print something real quick, if you've got a printer. So regardless, I guess you need to go to, I'll show you here. You can find them under your current lesson. So you go to current lesson. So it's these right here, notes on positive to command. So right here, if you can print that, print it. If you can't, then just pull it onto your desktop so you can write on it with me here in a second. All right, so I'm gonna pause for like 30 seconds. Either send it to the printer or download it and just put it in your Google Spanish folder or on your desktop under a folder or something. Okay, I will pull it up because I want you to be able to see it with me. All right, so hopefully by now, if you had to, if you were able to print it, you printed it. Otherwise, you're ready to go. All right, so I'm going to kind of talk you through it. I am sharing my screen, so maybe you can split your screen. In just a minute, you're going to write some examples down right here. So, all right, so here we go. Ready? Give me 5 more minutes. Focus, 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 focus. I know it's the end of the day. Okay, take a drink of water or do what you need to do. Stand up if you need to, but focus so you don't miss this. All right, positive to commands. I just said this is where you're going to tell a family or friend, friend or family member what to do using a positive to command. All right, here's all you have to do. There's one step. Simply put the verb in the él, ella, usted present tense form. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Simply put the verb in the él, ella, usted present tense form. So what does that mean? Well, remember when we conjugated a verb like hablar, we went hablo, hablas, habla. So habla would mean she talks or he talks. It can also mean talk or speak. Like if I wanted to speak Spanish, I could say habla español. All right. Let's think about an ER verb. Let's use comer. Como, comes, come. So come with an E on the end would be my command. So I might say come las verduras. Eat your vegetables. All right. So you literally just put it in the he, she form. So not most of the time, all the time, an AR verb is going to end with A, and an ER, IR verb is just going to end with the E. Now, the only other thing you have to be careful of, it says there are some stem changes. So remember when we did boot verbs or shoe verbs, and we learned a bunch of verbs that do change. So that means if you go to the he, she form, they stem change. So you just have to remember we had O to UE and E to IE and E to I. So there are a few of those. I'll try to review the highlights with you as we're practicing. Okay, so I've got 6 for you to try. So I would like you to write these on here if you printed this off. Otherwise, you're going to type them so that you have 6 examples. These are your notes. So I want you to make sure you have them down, and I want you to make sure you have them correct. All right, I'm going to pause for 1 minute so that you can try and write down your answers before I ask you to share them. So all you are doing is putting each of these 6 verbs into the he, she form. All right, so see what you can do. Either you're typing right on your document, or you're writing them down if you printed it, or I guess as a last resort, you're just writing it on a piece of paper. Okay, your minute has started. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to kind of call on some random people right now because I want to make sure that everybody's getting a point. So probably if you've gotten a point this week or you've already participated a few times, I'm not going to call on you right this second. So you can just relax. I just want to kind of spread out some points here. Okay. So I want to know, how do you say eat? Leslie, you want to tell me eat?
Comer.
There it is. Come, right? Eat your vegetables. Come las verduras. All right. So all I did was I dropped my ending, my ER, and I added the E. Okay. That's it. Okay. These are pretty straightforward. All right. This one is a little tricky because it's got a star. That means it's a stem changer. It's a boot verb. So we'll see if somebody can get it for me. If not, we'll help. I don't know. Annika, you want to try? Annika, are you there? Annika? Okay. How about Amani? Amani, are you there?
Yeah.
Hi. All right. Tell me what you're thinking for sleep.
Is it dorme?
Okay, you're really close. It's a stem changer. So change that O to a UE.
So it's like dume or something?
Duerme. There it is.
Dorme.
Yeah, good. Duerme. Okay. Sleep for 8 hours. Duerme por 8 horas. All right. How about listen? Stop talking and listen. Anna, want to do listen? Anna, are you there? I actually don't think she's even on here anymore. Okay, JK, let's go with Tori. Want to try it, Tori?
Yeah. Hang on. Escucha.
There it is. Perfecto. Escucha. I'm going to say, listen to me. Escúchame. All right. Next up is going to, let's see. I got Amani. Sorry, I didn't give you your point. How about Rosario? I want to do wait.
I'm not sure how to say it.
Okay, so I'll tell you the verb is esperar. Does that help? Esperar. So
Espera. Espera.
espera. Wait. Espera. All right, and I put this one on turn because we're going to use directions in this chapter, like turn right, turn left. I don't know. How about Rico? Want to give me turn? No, Rico. Okay, how about Caleb? Caleb? Oh dear. All right, Julia, I saw your hand. Go ahead, Julia. You could use a point.
Dobla.
There it is. Perfect. Dobla. Oops, I didn't spell it right though. Dobla. So we're going to say dobla a la derecha, turn right, or dobla a la izquierda, turn left. All right, last one. Little hard to pronounce. So if you can't pronounce it, you can spell it for me and I'll help you. How about Michaela? Want to do that one?
Is that one like lay?
Yeah. All right. So it looks like Lee. You said it really well. So remember in Spanish, the E sounds like a long A. So everybody try it. Okay, you're on mute, so I don't have to hear you, but say it. Lay. Lay. Try it. Lay. It looks like Lee, but it's not. All right. I'll go through them. So repitan. Leo is I read. Leo. Lace. Try it. Lace. And the last one, say it with me. Lay. All right, so those are your examples. You got come, duerme, escucha, espera, dobla, and lay. All I did was put it in the he, she form. Pretty straightforward. Do you have to be careful of the stem changes? Okay, make sure you've got those down because I have one last bit to show you at the bottom here. All right, moving this along. All right, there are a couple irregulars. All right, I'm going to give you a good way to remember them right now. It says, ten cuidado, be careful. Here are the positive irregular to commands. You will need to know what they mean and their irregular forms. Don't worry, I've got a story to help you. Okay, so look at them real quick. All right, there's 8 of them. So eventually you're going to have to know these 8. Now, let me tell you, the good news is that most of them kind of look like what they are. Like, look, sal comes from salir, pon from poner, se from ser, then from venir, as, hacer, and tener. So you can kind of see that most of them look like what they go with. Be is a little weird, and D is a little weird. You'll notice there's one accent on here. The say has an accent. I want you to do that. And otherwise, you will have to know what they mean. Okay, like dime, tell me, sal, leave, pon, put, say, be, they go, then come, as make, and ten have. All right, now I'm going to tell you this story real quick to help you remember these. All right, this story is terrible. It's not like a super creative story. It's kind of a dumb story, to be honest. But I learned these in high school. My teacher told me the story. And I mean, whatever, it helped me remember them. So that's what it's all about. Okay. It's not the cutest story. It's not the most clever story. It's just, a story to help you remember them. So bear with me and see if you can figure out what I'm talking about. So I'm going to kind of point to the words as I'm talking about them. All right. So there's a guy. His name was Salpone. All right. Mr. Salpone. Okay. There he is. Mr. Salpone he worked for the census department. That means he went from house to house figuring out how many people were in the house. And that's how they figure out the populations of places. All right. So this guy, Salpone, goes to work one day and he gets in his car, he drives to this neighborhood and he's going door to door, knocking on the doors and saying hi and figuring out how many people live in each house. So Mr. Salpone knocks on Mr. Vaben's door. Now, Mr. Vaben is spelled V-E-V-E-N, of course. So Mr. Vaben answers the door and Salpone says, hi, I'm Salpone. And he says, hi, I'm Vaben. And they start talking, he's filling in his forms and he's like, so how many people live in this house? And Mr. Vaben was like, oh, there's 12 people in this house. And he's like, 12 people, gosh, that's a lot. He's like, yeah, well, I have 10 kids, right? And he's like, wow, that's a lot of kids. And I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. I got 10, I have 10 kids. And so Salpone is like, wow, Mr. Vaben has 10 kids. And he's like, yeah, I do. So he writes it down and then he goes on and does the rest of the neighborhood. He goes back to the office where he works. It's a super boring government office. And he reports back to his boss. He's like, so this house has this many people and this house has this many people. And he gets to Vaben's house and he's like, so Vaben has 12 people. And he's like, whoa, that's a lot. And he's like, yeah, he has 10 kids. And, Mr. Salpone is like, yeah, Mr. Vaben has 10 kids. And so somebody overhears this and they turn around and they're like, ready? Wait for it. Did Salpone say Vaben has 10? Got it. I told you it's a terrible story, but it's going to help you remember. Look at my question is, the question is, did Salpone, Mr. Salpone, say, as in say, Vaben, the Vaben family, has 10. Okay, so look, if I go down the list, did Salpone say Vaben has 10? I know. I told you. It's not a great story, but it's going to help you remember these. All right. So right now in your head, you're saying, did Salpone say Vaben has 10? Go ahead, say it with me. Go ahead. Did Salpone say Vaben has 10? Now say it yourself. Say it, get it in your head. All right. So anyways, that's what's going to help you remember these. Okay. So we're going to go back tomorrow and the next day, the next few days, we'll work really hard on the regular ones and then we'll work really hard on the irregulars. But I wanted to go ahead and give them all to you just so you had them. And now we're going to kind of let that rest and come back to it. All right. So I want you to save those notes, put them wherever you save your notes, and we will come back to them tomorrow. All right, then I have one last thing to show you how to do today, and then you can leave and go do it. All right, so we're going to transition back to vocab. And I have a little crossword for you. So if you did these for me first semester, it's nothing too terribly different. However, I'm going to make sure there's a new option that you have. So just listen to me real quick, and I'll make sure you know your options for completing this. So I like to do a little vocab crossword. So I will show it to you and tell you how to do it. And then, like I said, you can go do it. All right. So under your current lesson, okay, we're now on number 2. It says complete this crossword. You can use your vocab list or you can do it online, and then you're going to submit it here. So let me just show you real quick. So this is what it looks like. Okay, it's a little crossword puzzle. If you don't know how to do a crossword puzzle, I'll tell you real quick. So down here are the clues. They're all vocab words. Okay, so like for 5 across, you're going to go up and find 5 across. It's right here. And the word is stoplight. So in Spanish, it's el semáforo. You got to spell it right so it all fits. It does have an L in it, and there's no space. So if it's L or la, just smush it together, no spaces. I also did not include accents, so you don't need to worry about those. And I didn't include punctuation. So if there's like a question or an exclamation mark, you don't need any of those, okay? And then you go through, and then these that go down, wherever it intersects, has to spell a word, okay? So how do you turn this in? How do you do this? You have some options, so think about what would work best for you. Oops, I just exited out what I didn't want to. So your options are, number 1, you can print it if you have a printer. Okay, this will link you to your vocab list, and you can print it, complete it, take a picture of it, submit it. Okay, you're going to submit it down here. Another option is if you have one of those little stylus pens and you like to write on things, you can write on it with a stylus pen and just screenshot it if you want to, or however you want to do that, save it, take a picture of it, and turn it in. Or last option, if you don't like either of those, you can just do it, solve it right online. Okay, so I give you that link, and look, it's the same thing. Here are your words. Look, number 5 is still a stoplight, and I'll show you can just type right on here. Look, El Semáforo. Okay, I'm not worried about the accent on there, just skip the accent. So you can go back and forth and hear all your words and just type right on there, and then you can screenshot it. If it doesn't all fit in one screen, you can take 2 screenshots, like the top, and then some people like to take the top and then the bottom. All right, so whatever you decide to do, it is due by tomorrow night. So if you don't want homework tomorrow night, you can go ahead and take care of it tonight, and you're gonna submit it right here. You have to submit it as an upload, because either you've printed it and you've taken a photo, or you've done it on the computer and you've taken a screenshot. I think those are your best ways to turn it in. Okay. All right. So I am going to wrap things up. If you have a question about how to do this crossword or anything else, okay, feel free to stick around. Otherwise, let me just remind you real quick the things you should have turned in now. There will be 4, including the crossword. All right. So number 1 was that Nearpod from Monday. Number 2 was the vocab list. Number 3 was the exit ticket from yesterday. And number 4 is this crossword. All of those are worth points. So let's start out solid. I'm going to update my grade book and then tell your parents that I updated my grade book. So let's get off to a good start. If you don't know where to find something, like I said, go to assignments and just click through the assignments. There's only been 3 this week because we're only on day 4. So go to assignments and you can click through each day, and anything that you need is just linked right there. Okay. All right. So like I said, if you have questions or concerns or want to talk to me, stay on the Zoom. Otherwise, hasta luego. Have a great night. I will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.